El Nino is a weather condition that brings below average rainfall to the southern Cook Islands, while the northern islands receive above average rainfall. This occurs every 2 to 5 years, resulting in an extended period of dry weather and insufficient rainfall. To sustainably manage agricultural activities, the dry period may continue for a long time. In 1982, the country suffered the worst El Nino with 7 months of no rain. It is anticipated that we will experience more frequent and extended dry periods in the future as the global temperature continues to rise.
El Nino involves the movement of warm water ocean currents. This causes or produces lower than normal rainfall and therefore causes droughts, while the La Nina involves the movement of cold water ocean currents, therefore producing higher than normal rainfall and causing flooding.
How much of your crop was affected by the El Ninos of 82 and 1997 and 98?
I would say I estimated around about 85% of the total loss during that El Nino in that year.
I grew up solely pawpaws for export during those periods. At the start, at the beginning of the dry season, pawpaws were all right. The quality was all right. The size of the fruit was okay. But as the season progresses, the fruit starts to get smaller.
What measures in terms of watering or irrigating your crop did you adopt during this period?
Well, one measure I took was I dug some water holes to the size about 10 meters by 16 meters, avoiding using weed killers in between citrus orchards and also in between vegetables as well.
I adopted drip irrigation, and I always plant my pawpaws double row because you can put the drip irrigation hose in between the plants, and then you can water both of the rows. It's different when you growing single rows. You're going to waste a lot of water. That's what I introduced into the system.
Did you adopt any other measures?
No, I didn't use any other. I didn't use the sprinkler irrigation because it wastes a lot of water, and you get a lot of grass growing. Whereas the drip irrigation only concentrates in one area, and it restricts the growth of weeds.
What advice would you give farmers in preparation for the next El Nino?
I think the advice I will be very happy to advise the growers in the next El Nino is to move their planting areas to a place that they can access to a water, or also dig some water holes where water is available.
If they know that the El Nino is going to occur, I would recommend the growers to think very carefully before they plant. I believe if you're growing pawpaws, you double row, you close them together double rows, and you conserve water, and you reduce the size of your farm because you've got to grow according to availability of water. I'd like to see the farmers get at least a warning of at least 4 or 6 months beforehand that El Nino is going to take place, so that they can better prepare themselves for the dry season to come.
How may government assist farmers in times of drought?
I think government should step in and dig extra water holes around the island for farmers to get access for them to use.
Mulching and thorough patch using coconut leaves and other dry leaves and weeds is an old practice to suppress the growth of weeds. It also helps to maintain soil moisture and provides food for soil living organisms. Mulching can also be used in vegetable cultivation. It is important that we mulch alongside rows of vegetables to reduce water loss and weed growth at the same time to feed the soil with nutrients. Farmers are encouraged to slash weeds in between rows of crops during dry periods to minimize water loss and keep the soil cool. Killing the weeds through the use of herbicides will lead to increased water loss and soil temperature, and also kill the important living organisms. Tree crops such as citrus also suffer during dry periods. The selection of citrus rootstock is important, especially when we expect to experience more dry periods in the future. Trifoliata rootstock is shallow rooted and the plant will suffer when the soil is too dry. Rough lemon and mandarin rootstocks are deep rooted and can uptake water from deep down.